So the whole purpose of Break the Cage MD is to help physicians realize kind of where they are cognitively and culturally. It helps you to understand the history of medicine, uh, some of the thought processes that you developed and adapted to survive med school, survive residency. A lot of people disconnected themselves from their bodies. It's called alexithymia if you want to go geek about it. Uh, and it has a lot of somatic illnesses that go with it. But it's sort of a defensive dissociation, and it's like it's like icing out your emotions so that you're able to keep going on, and you can deal with a lot of people dying, which is something that is pretty traumatic if you think about it. Like after you have a couple people die, and it's possibly your fault or you attribute it to something that you did, especially kids, like that messes with you. Like Uh, yeah, I won't get deep into it because you guys know how that works. Like when you work NICU unit, you're gonna have some folks die, and your signature is the last one on there, and that messes with you. So your body, your mind, body and mind have uh, it has a defense mechanism for dealing with stuff like that. But as you accumulate enough of that stress, it it builds up. There's it's allostasis. Yeah, it's the allostasis model, I think. I mix up allostasis and allosteric. One of them is the sigmoid curve for hemoglobin, I think. The other one is the accumulation of stress through your life and how eventually it starts messing with your epigenetically and messes with you. But side geekery. The the main point is that I think I started pre med in 1991, and you're in it, you do it, you don't really think about what it's doing to you because you're just you're scared crapless that you're going to fail and have like hundreds of $1,000s of debt. uh B, it's like you're exhausted, you're not getting any sleep. C, people are dying. D, no one wants to hear you complain when, as people get kicked out of pre-med, as people don't get into med schools, people don't match, no one wants to hear you complain. And then when you're a doctor, no one wants to hear you complain with the salaries that physicians make. No one wants to hear complaints at all. So the purpose of Break the Cage MD is to help you see sort of where you are in your thought process, compare your ways of processing reality with what over the centuries have uh, there's an epistemology that has been accumulated since Aristotle, Kant, all those guys, of ideal thought processes. Some of it I picked up at Harvard, some of it I picked up in software engineering. It's actually the same thing across multiple fields. Some of it from some of my psychology training, some of it from working on a psychiatric unit and watching people go bat crap. So, Break the Cage MD is decades later, now that I'm able to look back on how all these things changed my way of looking at life, the things that I needed to fix to be able to be who I think at the core I should have been and should be. Part of the responsibility, if you look at the hero's journey model, is when you finish your journey, it's your responsibility to return to those that might not have made their journey yet and explain to them so that they can complete the journey. So it's a sort of responsibility. So Break the Cage MD. We're rocking.